How you doing, everybody? I decided to start this early because this is quite the disaster. I mean, I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be as many parts as this one is. So we're going to start assembling these guys and getting them where we need to be. I just need to make an adjustment real quick here. And why disable chat for this live stream? What? That doesn't make sense. Let's see here. That shouldn't be it. So I'm going to have to check these settings. Alright. And there's no way I disabled the chat. Custom, advanced, stream, optimize, users allowed, caption, make this available to everyone, enable live chat. Okay, there's no reason why it shouldn't be there. Ah, there we go. All better. That was weird. Skip. Okay. So, anyways, because this is such a disaster, 51 miniatures instead of what they originally said to Sam, which was 17. There's 17 types, but times 2 on some things. Well, guess what? 51 miniatures. So, we're going to get to work and try to get these assembled. Yikes, 5 a.m. Looks like I'm going to miss this one. All right, Sean, take it easy. Lot of pieces, lots of putting together. So let's get to work here. And we're going to try to go in order here. They kind of did a couple things here. And we're just going to cut this stuff out. Like I said, we're going to do this all the way from the beginning, all the way through. Got my box today. Matter of fact, I came home about 10-15 minutes ago. And hopefully everybody can hear me. That's okay. That's good. That's good. All right. So there we go. And what's going on with this here? Okay, that'll go up to 5. There we go. Well, I'm not worried how it shows on mine. Okay, great. How you doing, Jason? All right. I'm going to try to keep up with the chat and do this at the same time. I'm going to be doing a vlog hopefully a little later tonight. That's why I'm kind of getting a jump on this. Number one, I want to make sure that I get at least an hour in here, but I think it's going to take me longer with this, and I need to get this all together because like I said, we are going to do this on Memorial Day, or maybe that's Sunday, depending on how much I get done during the week. I may take this with me to MegaCon. We'll see. Or I just might be here doing it all week. Who knows? All right, let's try to get these guys where they should be. What I'll do is get these all together. I'm going to show you how to get them together. Some of these are not as easy as it seems. It comes with a good manual, but you kind of want to whip through these as much as you can. And 51 miniatures is going to take a bit. Remember, paint cores 32 millimeter bases, of course. And 32 mil for our heroes, I believe. All right. 40 mil, actually. They should say on the bottom. No, of course they don't. All right, this dude's 40 mil. All right, so how does this all go together? Well, first of all, you got to have glue. What did I do with my glue? Probably when I was putting everything out, like an idiot, I buried the glue someplace. Oh, yeah, I buried it right over here. Because I got to use this one up before I go any further. So, what do we got here? Glad you started later, now I can watch. Actually, earlier. Alright, let's see here. Alright, there we go. Tell this glue isn't going to last very long. I like using this Loctite stuff. Really goes together and goes on pretty good. So according to this, we're going to pop this together like so. There we go. Alright, now we're going to glue his head in. And that's going to go in like so. Oops. Good thing I got my glasses on. See, this is going to be the hard part, just sitting here holding stuff. How you doing, Jason? How you doing, Kurt? Karma? Nathaniel? How are you, my friend? All right, so body goes together, head goes on top. Let's see here. Shield, okay. You can pose it a little bit. That's not too bad. I'm not too worried about that. Some things we'll just have to make a mess out of. Fortunately, I have a couple of these guys already painted from the Warhammer class. So I started looking at the rules and started reading some things. I have to admit, you know, this is like one of my favorite games of all time, and they threw the name to it, but it seems a little quirky. So I'm not going to pass judgment fully on it until I play it. Not like Fire Team Zero yesterday, where boy, that was a little rough. Gotta admit. When Justin sits there and he felt bad after we got done taping, he said, these were his exact words, boy, I felt so bad. He goes, I would hate to have to review things. He goes, because you would feel bad that you would hurt somebody's feelings. And I said, you're right. It's not an easy thing to do, especially if you don't like something. You know, somebody puts their life work into it. And then who are you to just come along and say, hey, I don't like this because of this, 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 and this. It makes it kind of tough. You know, and I think he got the first taste of it and he said, boy, I don't envy the people that have to tell people. Now, some people get off on telling people that the games are bad. And that's a shame. Because, you know, people do work very hard. But, you know, if something's not good, and, you know, and you don't like it, you know, it's kind of funny. It's an opinion, but I think sometimes it's more than opinion. All right. I think they sent me a bigger base. There's got to be a bigger base for this guy. That should be a 40 mil base. That's a 32. No, that's a... Is there something smaller than... That's a 25. All right, let me get these bases kind of figured out here. Because once again, Games Workshop making things tough for me. All right. So, I'm just looking here real quick. I tossed everything in the box. Everything falling all over the place. I got the one with the two new these. Put that over there. Pair of glasses over there. That's for an upcoming segment. This goes over here. That goes over there. I bet you 10 to 1 I left them in the house. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about gluing that guy. If I don't have... Oh, there's the bases. They fell. There you go. Well, they gave you a couple extra bases. Yeah, that's the biggest one. Alright, so we'll make do with what we got. Alright, so of course it doesn't fit on there exactly. So we'll just have to do what we have to do. And we'll glue there, then there, and voila. All right, it only took 20 minutes to do one guy, right? Oh, this is going to be a nightmare because I'm rushing. Because I really want to get this together and going. All right, let's see. I tuned out during Fire Team. Did you? Yeah, I don't blame you. Wrath. I heard this game is a lot like the D&D board game. Wrath Echelon. Yeah, it's not as deep as the other one, I don't think. Bottom of the box under everything. Yeah, probably. Big Bang, how are you? Did you get the foil character promo? Yeah. I'm busy painting up the acolytes as I watch this. Cool. Yeah, the painting doesn't look too deep. I mean, that's not the thing I'm worried about right now. It's getting this assembled. Painting, I'm pretty quick. All right, you go over there. Stay there. All right, so now we move on to the dwarf. I mean, it was never like this where it would take so long to put something together. I just don't know why everything's got to be a million pieces nowadays. Just doesn't make any sense to me. All right, is that the dwarf right there? Yeah, he's like 19 pieces. Awesome. I mean, look at that. I mean, this is what, best miniatures in the business. No doubt about it. Problem is that these molds nowadays are like everything is in 5 million pieces. So, you have to be very thorough in geometry to put this stuff together. That's awesome. That's what I want to be doing all afternoon. Well, I do have a couple things to say while I am doing this. Number one, there was some backlash, it seemed, of course unspoken, about me doing video games. So I'm going to do them on Twitch under Seahawk860. And also, I will be doing one a week here for the OMG. Still get a kick out of the name. So it will be one a week. This is not going to be a full-time video game channel. A whole bunch of people left, and that's understandable. But I was thinking about it, and after all, it is my channel, and I do like to do different things, just to keep it from getting stale. So I just don't want people thinking that it's going to be very confusing. What's going to happen is I'll have a folder for it, and everything will reside. If you look into my folders, you'll see that there's an OMG folder, and that's where all the gaming stuff will go. The video game stuff, just to break it up a little bit. I plan on trying to do a little bit more stuff that's related to board games. Games out there like Blood Bowl and some role-playing games. Second thing is, I noticed that there were a bunch of messages that I missed that I did not return to some of the people. And that's because they sent things to me privately in the YouTube thing, and I never checked that. And I feel horrible, because the one thing I do pride myself on is answering every email, answering pretty much every comment, even if it's just a thank you or anything, because it is important to acknowledge that if you took the time to write, that I should take the time to answer. Because we all are very important in our own little lives. Nobody's better here. Some people don't even, contributors or whatever you want to call them, don't even acknowledge that you guys live, that you guys are breathing. The only time they acknowledge you is when they get their little YouTube paychecks. Like I said, I never wanted to treat you guys like marks. You guys aren't money. You guys are people. I really believe that in my heart of hearts. And I do things because it makes, for me, number one, it makes me happy to do this. All right, so this is the dwarf. Take a look at this. Well, let me read some of the comments because I do read all the comments. Yeah, even my Warhammer Fantasy Army from the 6th edition didn't even have that many pieces. I know, it's ridiculous. Agree about the million pieces. OMG, don't worry about the haters. We love your segment. Okay, cool. All right, this is the start of a dwarf. The minute I started looking at this, I went, yeah, okay. This is not something that's, an hour putting stuff together. I thought, especially for a board game, that they would take the time to try to start bridging the gap between them and everybody else. You have the best miniatures, you have the best storylines, you have everything to your disposal. And what do? You just keep with the same formula. You can't do that. You have to change with the times a little bit. And if you want to go backwards, then you've got to make it so that people can accept you and start to understand you. There's a whole generation of people that don't even know what Warhammer is and may not. A lot of us, or some of us, grew up with this stuff. I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. And for us, we have fond memories, and that's why it's so personal in some ways that, when you see a game like this, the buzz over it, because people heard it's like mythical in some ways. Warhammer Quest, I've always heard about that game. But it's been out of print for 15 years or whatever. So it becomes this mythical thing, and now, you want to strike the iron of board gaming. Board gaming's hotter than it'll ever be. All right, what's this do? Hotter than it'll ever be. This is the perfect time to do it, but you have to do it with a little bit of a thought pattern. There has to be some kind of, all right, let's make this simple because kids don't have the attention span that they should and stuff like that. Yeah, holy cow. It's such an easy thing. Put if you want to keep it where it's a double-edged hobby where the assembly is part of it, a modeling hobby, 3-in-1, because you do get 3 hobbies in one here. But try to meet people halfway. Make some of the things just 2 pieces. Make some of the things where people can relate to this a little bit, or something. Okay, here's a couple that are already put together. Great, I'll just cut these out. Give it so they feel like they're accomplishing something quickly. Not look at this and go, oh man, this is going to be a pain in the neck. I'm not going to deal with this today. Because that's what's going to happen. And that's not going to be good. Okay, how the heck does this? Like this. This is just, and I'm skilled at modeling at least. All right, how does this go? It shows how it goes in here. This dwarf is not an easy thing to do here. Am I supposed to take the chance and break it? I could see where somebody would become extremely frustrated with this. Huh. Okay, maybe it's like, no. So like that. Yeah, I guess it's like that, huh? Well, that's ridiculous. Okay. That's what you want. That's what you'll get. Hopefully it comes out in the end. All right, so that goes into there like so. Just move it around until it gets in there good. Okay. Wow. All right, a whole bunch of comments. It took me almost an entire day to put the minis together. I found that they go together fine. It's just finding the amount of tiny pieces that are annoying. Good call about bridging the gap. Sometimes GW don't make it easy. Question, Rob. Did you review the Horus Heresy Betrayal of Caliph? I'm looking into buying it after I finish Silver Tower. Um, that one I can answer very quickly. I have it. Sam was supposed to do it. He did not do it. So I'm thinking of just doing my own review here on the channel. So I hope that answers your question. That should be coming up soon. At least the horrors are only 2 pieces. Just make the guy headless dwarf scary. Glue his skull to his hand. Yeah, the way I'm going, it just may turn out that way. Oh yeah, I watched a vid on putting together the minis. He said the dwarf was the worst one to put together. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm having a good time with this guy as it is. All right, that goes back there like so. So that makes sense. And right now you're watching a vid of me doing it. So, all right, so his face goes into there like so. Okay, that makes sense. Um, okay, I guess you glue in the face first. So let's do that. So we're going to glue his face in. And you know, the doors are such a cool. I've done some doors. I think you guys seen them. There we go. So as you can see, it's taken a bit here. My heretical comment. I have a hard time taking Warhammer seriously. I might go in for Forbidden Stars, but the GW games would be too much for me. Great, looking forward to the review. Yeah, we'll get to it, Big Bang. Nathaniel, I understand that, and that's what holds me back. I've got so much of it, it's ridiculous. Just from a historical aspect. I think the thing that killed me was the people that play, unfortunately. And I know that's an awful thing to say, but I think it's a very true thing to say too. Is when I remember and this was a while back, GW had a store here in Orlando, and I was excited because I hadn't seen one since I was back in Connecticut, and that was quite some time ago. Always had to go to like a regular um, come on, a regular hobby store. But I always liked the GW stores. I had a friend there, and it just brought back a lot of good memories. And I have to admit, the people that worked there were very nice to me. And I was building this orc army to take on some space marines because Justin and I, we do like it. Well, we were looking at the rules, and of course they get so wonky, but all we wanted to do was not play with all the special abilities that make the game cheesy. But I remember seeing a couple of kids there, and the thing out of their mouth, see, trying to cut this so it'll fit is ridiculous. I mean, this is just time consuming. And this whole video, I just feel bad. I'm not going to be able to do this for the whole video. I'm not going to be able to sit here for 6 hours and just put, nobody's going to want to watch me put these things together for 6 hours. But getting back to the story, I'm sorry. A couple kids were talking, and we were on the fence about buying a few things. And we were thinking, I was talking to him, like, well, we should come down and start playing with some of these guys, and it'd be kind of fun. And we have some place to go and play. Well, I heard them talking and how they were trash talking each other, which doesn't bother me. You could trash talk me all you want. I've won in life. I'm not worried about some kid telling me how great he is. And the thing that got me is when he said this one comment. He goes, "Oh, you're playing with them, with whatever army it was. I can't remember which one it was." He goes, "Yeah." And the guy goes, "Well, they're so cheesy because they have this stupid ability." But he goes, "That's why I like playing this, because I can do something. I can make an army that's just completely cheesy and just frustrate somebody." And I'm like, okay, that's the reason I don't come down. You see, a good war game is a game in which two sides are primarily even. They have different kind of strengths, but the thing that makes them really kind of cool is the fact that Well, I got to put this guy on a base. 32 mil. Sorry. That makes it kind of cool is the whole fact that it's your ability that'll win. It's your intellect as far as being able to outmaneuver. Taking two even armies and just knowing that there's a chance that you'll lose. If you make one wrong move, and you learn from it. Because I don't care about what anybody says. If you're a good loser, then you're always going to be a good loser. It's okay to lose, but learn from it. Hold on, let me see if I missed anything. Learn from losing, and don't accept it, but learn. And if you go in there and there's a good chance that you're going to get beat, something, you keep fighting and you find a way, because that makes it the win even that more sweeter. I mean, that's the way I look at things, and that's the way I've taught my kids. When Justin and I play, we play to kill each other, plain and simple. If he wins, though, something, I laugh about it, but I know I'm going to get him next time, and I know he gets driven to beat me, any chance he gets, because he hates losing to me. He really does. He can't stand it, and that's good in my mind. Point I'm trying to make here is that if an army, you can pay for an army that'll be unbalanced and stupid but still legal, and that no matter what you throw against it, there's really no thought to it. It's just some cheesy gimmick that you come up with. I mean, what fun is that? I've considered buying this game, but in the end I'll probably spend that amount of money on DQRK. Make it easier for pro painters to paint the areas that are hard to get in. Yeah, okay. Darkest Night Second Edition. Oh, okay. I'll probably get that too. But Warhammer looks awesome though. That's true. Kurt. So supposed to paint. So we're supposed to paint them then assemble them. Well, some people do. Yeah, cloaks and weapons that go up against the mini. I still find a way to paint it. I usually take care of those first. You can do it without doing such things, but it does make it harder. But you know, eh, depends what you. I mean, pro painters are pro painters. There you go. That's great. That's great that they do everything for the pro painter. But how about the beginning painter? Or how about people that just want to play your game? Why don't you do something a little different there? Come up with some great ideas. You know what I mean? Start using your heads. You want to stay in business. I know you got stockholders and stuff, but Jesus, doesn't take doesn't take much to use your head. Let's see, where's this other thing go? My goodness, my goodness. Okay, and these things are detailed beyond human belief. How the heck? Oh, so that goes up in there, huh? Okay. Wow, this guy is a nightmare. Whose idea was this? Now this isn't for pro painting, I'll tell you this much. This is for, hey, we want to be a pain in the ass so nobody can duplicate this model. That's what this is about. It's about keeping people from duplicating, because people do duplicate stuff. All right. Well, there's our dwarf. Wow, that was exciting. I'll leave this off. So I'll paint that later. That would have been bad if he just fell apart. All right, that's two. Let that dry. What next? Oh my God, now this guy? I mean, you're kidding me, right? All right, this guy and the War Griffin. Where is he? This is like rocket science. Hi, my name's Rob. I have a degree in GW. Wow, this guy's a little easier. I think if you get maybe they're right. Maybe if you get the dwarf done, it kind of makes everything else a little bit easier. So let's cut all this off a bit. All right, let's see what I missed, if I missed anything. Thanks for the story, Rob. I agree about the appeal of the game. The fanboy contingency of anything, including games, can be eternal. Well, hey, it's just not. It's just not there. We used to like to play Magic, and it gets boring playing against each other. You want to play against people, but the Magic crowd is ridiculous, and it just killed. For me, it killed that game. I mean, we really like that game. In fact, I've got some of that alpha stuff around here. I don't even know what I have. I know I got to have something that's worth quite a bit. I had a Black Lotus. I don't even know. I think it was like in decent condition. I don't know what it's worth. I could care less. Maybe I'll sell it, buy a new camera. I need a camera, and there's something else I was looking to get. I've been doing some research trying to find where to go, get to the next level without breaking the bank. Breaking the bank. Oh, this guy's head. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, this is where it just gets kind of. All right. All right, let's get this. So he goes on a 32. That one goes on a 25. Yeah, all right. Okay. He comes off. Trying to get all these pieces is just so painful. Oh, let's see. I just painted my first miniature and enjoyed it, but I'm never going to assemble them. I think I could watch you paint a wall, Rob. Thank you, Jason. This looks like a nightmare to put together. I think I'll pass on this game. Paul, run. I'll tell you right now, my friend, run. It's a shame because the original game is such a classic. I have it, and it's one of those games I will never ever sell. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to buy another one. And the best thing about it, and the thing that really I liked about it, was that you could buy other miniatures and they just would come into the game. It was really, really kind of cool because you had this role-playing book that did this whole thing. I've been playing Magic forever, competitively and casually, and I know what you mean, Rob. Some of the players kill it when new people see them. That's a shame, Paul. Would love to see you do a playthrough of it. Paul, I'll just send it to you, and you could do the playthrough. You would do it so much better than I do. Your playthroughs just kill, my friend. Absolutely kill. The go-to channel. When in doubt, check Paul's out. I like that. See, I just gave you a new title for a segment. When in doubt, check Paul out. All right, so we're going to put that on. That seems like a pretty simple ordeal. Hold on. Oh, for crying out loud. See, this is where the things get a little wonky because I was supposed to put this back end piece on first. It's all right. Good thing I caught it. That's why I always double check GW rules. Okay. Now this goes over the top. Okay, we're going to be a little difficult here. Let's try this again. Dink, and then dink. All right. Let's see. I put up with the assembling of. I thought Brimstone was the worst. If you let me assemble these, they'll probably look like whores. Well, that's what they're supposed to look like, Kurt. Pink whores. Paul, they actually go together better than SOB. I'll agree with that. But there is just so many pieces. Putting it together is part of the fun. Not for everybody, but I agree. That's a deal, Rob. There you go. See? You know something? I think I'll go get one and I'll send one up to you. Because I'm thinking of doing two more, believe it or not, painting them up and maybe doing them for the auction. But maybe I'll just send one up to you and have you do it. Your playthroughs are just so top of the line. I understand it's not for everyone. I wish I had picked up the original version of this game. You know, you could find them out there. I like COD review. Who's COD? You did a great job explaining the mechanisms. Thank you. Conflict of Heroes. You did a great job explaining the mechanisms. I think the system would work better with World War II Pacific, Vietnam, or Middle East. That said, I hate infantry facing post 1914. They're doing the Pacific one. The Guadalcanal one is supposed to be out very soon. I'm very excited for that. You know, people get intimidated, especially with Conflict of Heroes, because they just think it's just another war game, but it really isn't. It I mean, this thing was put together to, it's a war game, but it doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't feel it. It just feels like any other game. It's not overcomplicated. Like I did a review for, I think it was Operation Dauntless, which is a great game. But that is what I call a hardcore game. And oh, you got Hero Quest, Paul? Let me just finish my thought here. It is a hardcore war game, and that's where if you got to learn in little bits the way that's what GMT does. They do a beautiful job of it's showing you how to do it in little bits, but it's a hardcore war game, and it's complicated. It has its moments of brilliance, but it also has its moments where I can see where it's very frustrating for people. So with that said, you know, Conflict of Heroes is just such a nice change to that. It's like it's very inviting for somebody that's never played a war game, but you get that World War II feel and you feel like you're accomplishing something. I have Hero Quest and I am planning a playthrough of that, Paul. That's going to be awesome. That's a game that they need to redo. I'll tell you, they put the name to this, but I'm really kind of afraid, and I hate to say this, guys, that this is not Warhammer Quest. It's what they consider Warhammer Quest, but it may not be Warhammer Quest. I really hope that, I've heard that there's 2 expansions to this. I don't mind it being in the universe, but if they bring a little depth to it, that'd be great, because the one thing that the original game had was the replay value was ridiculous. And that's the best way to put it. It was absolutely just ridiculous. All right, let's put that down on his feet. And all right, we're getting these, come on, stand up straight. We're getting these heroes together. Look, here we go. We got the easiest guy, little Griffin dude. All right, kid. Come on. I'm on a tear now. We get to turn the page. And, one of the things that I really enjoy is that, I'm able to do this with you guys. And yak about it a bit. kind of like a just having everybody around working on the same model. And at least you guys get to see. I agree, it doesn't look like the original. Yeah. But Pete Jones. Dude, I thought you unsubscribed and moved to Russia. Wow. There's a name from the from the old days. Hi Rob, I'm glad I caught you on this one. Happy to see you tackling those great looking minis. I agree. It doesn't look like the original. Hi Pete. Hey Pete. Everybody's saying I've been real busy helping Roger out with his rules for his Dungeon Crusade Kickstarter that went live today. Oh, well, yeah. I meant to talk about that, and I'm glad you're here. Because James Hanna, he wrote me this morning to say it went live, and That's one of the main things I wanted to do a vlog about, was to let everybody know that the Kickstarter went live, and even though he's farming the game out to other guys to help him with the Kickstarter, he should have came back here. We would have done another sit through with him. But it looks like he wants somebody else to do it. That's fine. And what we'll do is, I'll still talk it up anyways. So there you go. I've been really busy. Blah, blah, blah. That's a noble cause, Pete. Yes, it is. Looks like Dungeon Crusade has a good chance of funding this time. Yeah, I hope so for his sake. He's a nice kid. Is that the one Rob did the demo for? That is correct. All right. We're well on our way here. Let's turn the page here. Oh, well, it's barbarian time. Or as my wife would say, me when I get up in the morning. You're a bear. Let's see here. All right. So this one looks pretty straightforward and doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a hassle. Wednesday I'll put it up probably tomorrow, but I'll probably have this all together. I'll have first coats on, and what we'll do is we'll spend 2 hours doing some paint jobs on these, and I'll show you guys how I do it. Again, if you have the chance, there's some great painting videos out there, a lot better than yours truly. I'll give you my simple-ended view of things, which I always enjoy doing. All right, so this guy looks like he's pretty simple, that he's just got 1, 2, and then we've got the never-ending little pieces. All right, let me just pop these out. Dink. Dink. And if I'm missing some of the comments, I really appreciate it, because I'm really trying to concentrate on what I'm doing here, so please forgive me. I don't like missing anyone's comments, so if you had a question, I will try to do the best. And if you ask it twice, believe me, I'll answer it. I'm not like some people that if you ask it twice, they're not going to answer it. And I just dropped that piece. Doggone it. I'm sitting on the stupid stool. Let's see here. I've tried to watch the demo, but chirping smoke detector was driving me slowly insane. Had to go. So what was your first thoughts on the new Warhammer Quest compared to the original? I don't even think they're the same game. I don't even think they're the same game. And I was hoping that they would leave it open, where they would give you like that big book like the original had, where you had that little role-playing element in it. So it had some legs to it. Now, can I take these tiles and do some things with the old one? Yeah. But again, this has a auto move. This is more of a cooperative game. The other one, you could have done it cooperatively, but it also had that thing where you could have a dungeon master kind of thing. And is that the piece I dropped? Yes, it is. I think it is. and it had that great feel to it, so it's a real, I'm really torn about it, but until, we play it on Memorial Day. Here it's Memorial Day. Monday we have off. It is a holiday here in the United States. For my overseas friends, we are doing an entire game day, me and the children, and we're really going to go at it. We're planning on getting a lot more games in and just having some fun together like we always do. And well, this goes to better get really goes together well. Um, let's see. Hi, Robert. How do you rate these miniatures? They're some of the best I've ever seen. I mean, they always are. I mean, every time you see something from Warhammer, you can't help but go, "Wow, who designed that? Who had that swimming around in their head and came up with that?" I mean, it really is awe-striking what they do. I mean, there's nobody better. I'll be honest with you. And if you can find a better company, I'd be very surprised. Let's see. Sub to my channel, please. Lee J. Ainsworth. That's going to make people not want to sub to your channel. Now, if you came here and you just came in here and you had something constructive to add to the channel, you would find that people would subscribe to your channel. Like a lot of people just come on here. Let's take Paul, for instance, or some of the other people that come on here that have channels. Paul doesn't ask anybody to subscribe to your channel. The first thing I do is tell people to go subscribe to his channel. And that's the best way you get people to subscribe to your channel. What does your channel do? Why don't you tell us about it, since, you took the time to write that. Rob, are you going to get Warhammer Total War for the PC? I'm going to think about it. I played the other ones, and I enjoyed them. I'm kind of torn about it. I always do like all their work. So I just can't see why I wouldn't do it. Probably will. I'll see it. The minute I see it, of course, I'm going to jump. It's like anything else. Every video game that comes out, I've got to buy it. All right, let's see. So now we're just going to drop a little glue on top here. Oops. In that case, subscribe to mine. Yeah, it's not that easy. When somebody subscribes to your channel, you have to consider it an honor that they were willing to take their time to look at your content. It doesn't make you king of the hill the way some of these people think they are. Oh, I got all these people that subscribe to me and they'll do whatever I say. Send money to my Patreon channel so I can afford to edit. Huh? Okay. Well, like any business, nobody just goes and hands you a bunch of money and say, "You know something? I want to have a business, but why don't you finance it for me?" Don't think the world works that way. At least I don't think it does. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something here. All right, what the heck is going on here? Oh, you can put either that or that in his hand. Oh, I get it now. Okay, no, I like the sword and the axe. All right, 32 mil, you got it. Bink, bink. Welcome to the 32 mil. think on there. I'll tell you, not a too bad old man gluing. There you go. Subscribe to my channel, Old Man Gluing. Okay, let me see what I missed here because I've been yapping. Already subbed. Any thoughts about the Spiel des Jahres nominees? What are they? Matter of fact, why don't you? I didn't get a chance to see what they are. It looks amazing graphic-wise. Yeah, it does. Don't subscribe to mine. LOL. I don't post. Spare yourself the time. OMG, Old Man Gluing. Isn't that the greatest channel? I really like that. Reverse psychology. I never take a subscriber for granted. No, Paul, I know you don't. And try to answer all the comments in my videos. So far, channel's small enough that I can easily keep up with it. I agree. I do the same thing. Just subscribe. Willie, thanks. So does it work? No. Paul, I really enjoyed your SOB and your LNOE playthroughs. Yeah, they were both excellent. I even commented and I told him he makes me feel small in the world. I really enjoy his work. It truly is some of the best. Oh, look at this. I mean, these miniatures are just brutal. All right. Let's just keep plugging along here. All right, so this dude is, okay, we're not going to worry about that guy. But we're going to come over here, and I believe, all right, that's the next one that we do. I'm trying to do them in order, as you guys would see. And this will kind of help you get an idea of some of the pains of the neck of what it is to do this. And you could decide, hey, you know, maybe this game isn't for me. Or maybe you could just hire some old idiot, so some OMG to put it together for you. Hi, send the game to OMG. He'll put it together for you. And then at the end, you have the guy talking real fast. Okay, I'm so bummed. My copy had a duplicate sprue and was missing 4 of the heroes. Now I have to return it tomorrow. Surprising for GW to have packaging error. Yeah, that is kind of surprising. But you know something? They're very good. Did you call their customer support? Those people are just absolutely fantastic. And if you call GW, they will take care of you pretty quickly. Paul, I subbed to your channel just to hear your soothing voice. There you go. See, you guys just got to hang out here a little bit more often. I'll get you some subs. I'll tell you a couple of the best guys that you know, between Kurt and Paul, some of the best guys that you can ever have having a channel. And I'll tell you, you know, these are the type of guys that I really kind of, you know, I really admire. As far as, I mean, there's a lot of people with a lot of subscribers that I do not admire at all. I mean, I could just, you see the cockiness in them. You see how they treat people. I mean, for the most part, they, you know, and behind closed doors, there's been a couple of people I've met that are just, you know, they think they're God's gifts to the earth because they have a YouTube channel. Okay, well, you know something? You should do this because you care about it. If you want to make it a business, hey, I got no problem with that, but you know something? Treat it with some respect. Because eventually people will figure you out for the phony ass you are. See, I said it. There you go. All right. Let me just catch up with the things here. Brian, they gave me a French version instead of an English version. Luckily, I noticed it before I opened it. My local game store is going to make it right, thankfully. Oh, that's good, Brian. At least that'll make it a little easier. But if you had to call GW, they would have got the parts out to you right away. I hope the game Silver Tower is good because I have it coming Wednesday. All right, well, we're going to find out real quick. Rob, did Manic ever sort out your missing figures from Dungeon Saga? Nope. Nope. I'm not worried about it. I'm okay with it. Let them just do what they do. You know, the last thing I want to do is be a pain in the neck to them, and I'm not worried about Mantic. I mean, they're doing just fine with whatever they're doing, and everybody seems to be enjoying it. So, God bless them. All right, how the heck? I mean, you look at some of these things, and I have to tell you, this is going to give me a Duma. All right, how does this even work? Okay, so that supposedly. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's make it so you have to sit here and scrape things for. There's a little nub here, and you can get very easily confused by the way the directions look. So when you're putting this Mistweaver together, this top part, be wary of it. So, yeah, so that's going to go in there like so. Okay, yeah, so she leans back like that. Okay, I got it. It's a little difficult, but this, this is a part that's just going to take time. You're going to have to sit here and you're going to have to hold this because it just doesn't make any other sense. Okay, so let's take a look at the comments. I have Descent coming Wednesday. First dungeon crawl. You're going to really like it. Descent is a lot of fun. Um, the first couple of missions really stink, to be honest with you. I have Descent 2. 2. I need to try the new app. Yeah, the new app looks, we've got it. I've loaded everything in, so I'm kind of excited about it. We're going to give that a go too. I've only played the first edition though. Looks fun. I fear it's going to cost me a fortune. Yes, it will. Make sure you get the app that runs Overseer Descent. Great co-op, then with nobody having to play the bad guy. Unless you like being the bad guy. Nothing pleases me more than destroying the few dreams my children have. Just makes them better. Okay, so now this has to fit in here somehow. Okay, so oh boy, oh boy. Whoops. It's a job and a half. All right, and we've been at this an hour already. What time is it? Yeah, been at it almost an hour. So we're gonna go a little long. We're gonna go a little bit longer. We're gonna try to get as much as we can done, and we'll see. Playback on this is gonna be murder for people that watch this, watching paint dry. Uh, bu- 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 Ray, how are you, my friend? That app does make the game harder, I think. I like being the overseer. Every time Rob plays the bad guys, his kids destroy him. Very fun to watch. They have thrashed me a few times. But then again, I've gotten some licks in. We tried playing a co-op game yesterday. Oh, come on. Did I really drop that? Yeah. We tried playing a co-op game yesterday, and that was an adventure into itself. Because we still didn't trust each other. We always, we always felt that somebody was going to try to sabotage it. I'll tell you, I was kind of disappointed with that Fire Team Zero. I thought it'd be a little bit better. I think the mistake that they made, and we're going to play it again because we still have a verdict out on it. Because I was going to paint it first and then play it. I said, let's just try it out because we don't know too much about it. We just got it. I appreciate each and every subscriber to my channel. Lately, I think all the personality in my all aboard segment. Oh, I think I thank them all personally in my all aboard segment. It's unbelievable they want to follow and put time into a simple dude from Belgium. And he takes the defeat with a lot of grace. No, I don't. You wait till the camera goes off. I'm glad to hear that you're good, Ray. at this. I glued my finger. I'm not a game collector per se, but games I like, I want everything for. That's already a lot of the same. It's not as much as you think it is. I've pretty much got it all, and I don't think it's that bad, to be honest with you. Because there were a couple things I was missing, and I went, oh God, I got to catch up with all this. And then I went, oh, well, that really wasn't that bad. Let's see here. So how does this all work out here? All right, first off, this goes here. This, I don't know. I think this has got to be the second worst figure here, and that's the Mistweaver, or kind of like the Dark Elf, as they would call it. All right, so that goes in there. Wow, this is brutal. All right, so here's the thing. If you're going to put something in a million pieces, okay, I get it. But do me a favor. Make it so I understand it and I'm not sitting here playing with one little arm when I have hands like, like a giant ape. I'm at a disadvantage as it is, and then you've got to make this piece that doesn't make any logical sense to me whatsoever. Oh. All right, so let's try it. All right, so I'm going to put this on and then I'll check the comments again. See, it's just not. Does not want to sit there right. How does it sit there? Okay, so it's got to come up in the front of her, like so. All right. Wow. And you see me fumbling with this. I mean, I can imagine. Let's try that. All right, we'll hold this for. I'll start with the big box expansions first. That's what I did. You don't need the lieutenants and stuff. No, you don't. Unless the game is absolutely stellar for this game, I would not have the eyesight or the patience to put these miniatures together. Yeah, I keep on going, and the thing that keeps on popping in my head is that, again, this game becomes very personal because of the history that I have with it. It is in my top half of the games of all time. And, for me, this is a personal vendetta to find out, I waited for years for them to redo this. That and Blood Bowl, because, that's another one that you're going to have to sit there and you're going to have to paint for a few days and put together. All right, that's not too bad. But to be honest with you, it just oh, what's this? He gets a few subscriptions and then he takes off. All right, Kurt, take it easy. Time for me to go. Sleep time is here again. See you all later. Good luck with the minis, Rob. Say hi to the family. That I will do, my brother. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. That's why I do not have SOF. I do not want to put all the minis together. SOB. SOB was worth it, though. You get a lot out of that. Speaking of all-time games, Rob, are you going to do a top 100? Well, I would have to. I'd do it here if everybody wanted. That was another thing I was gonna bring up in the vlog was, do people want? I was thinking of doing. Somebody had mentioned and asked if I would ask everybody if they wanted to see top 10 games that we enjoy playing together and have the kids in there and come up with a list that of the games that we enjoy playing together or that we just enjoy, period, our favorite games, and just argue with each other a bit. So we were thinking of doing something like that. Have you looked at the rules and the gameplay yet? What do you think of it so far? I hate to tell you, Paul, I really, right now, just looking at the rules and the way it is very watered down and very generic. And it's not what I hoped for. I hope it plays better, where, you know, I find some fun and replayability in it. But right now, just a quick look that I took. I'm not too, hold on, let's get this guy together. Matter of fact, let's just take this. Oh, come on. See, that's the problem. Hold on, I'm gonna pull out the rule book and we're gonna take a look at it together. How's that? I imagine one upside to assembling the painted minis like this is that the second-hand market value must be high, since a lot of people won't want to do the work themselves. Yeah, I'm sure I can make some money. Oh, look at that rebellion thing I did. I put that up on the virtual flea market for a dice tower after I did it, and that was a pain in the neck to do and paint and everything, and there was 100 and some odd things. I can't even get, you know, a couple $100 for it. You know, it depends what the game is to you and what it means to you, and is it worth paying for somebody else's work, and and if you like their work, that's another big thing. All right, I imagine one upside yeah, a top 10 with the kids would be awesome. Okay, then I think we'll do that. I've got a vlog I'm going to do tonight, and hope you guys will watch it. Just me rambling about everything that we're pretty much talking about now. You know, I mean, look at this model. I mean, this thing is pretty doggone cool, if I do say so myself. I mean, this is, I'm going to try to bring it as close as I can. Hold on, let me do this. Did that come out all right? Why is that not so sharp? Okay, hold on. Let me just do an adjustment here real quick. There we go. There we go. We'll just go autofocus for now. There we go. Come on. Is that going to do it? No? Okay, there we go. You know, I really hate autofocus. So why don't we do this and do, there we go. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at the detail on that thing. I mean, that's pretty spectacular if you ask me. Nathaniel, take it easy. I need to leave. I'm going to a bluegrass jam tonight. Good night, Rob. Good night, everyone. Good night, pal. Agree. Top 10 with the kids would be great. Sweet. Okay. But I mean, really look at these. I mean, these are just very, very beautiful models. And they're some of the best that you're ever going to see. I mean, you're just not going to find models better than what GW can do. And that's what really makes this game is, you know, the extensive, I mean, the detail and when you paint them up, the difference that they make. I mean, it really is a nice system and stuff. So let me turn off this, let me back that out. There we go. Save. There we go. Oh, all right, so that guy, okay. He goes on a 32-minute. Oh, now that I got that done, let me just get this guy glued on the base here. Hopefully he stays there. Oh, jeez. How does he even get on, stay on? I mean, they don't, it's not even a thought on how they want to keep these guys on here. All right, I'll just hold this for a few minutes. sense of movement is amazing. Yeah, it is. The models are spectacular. And 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 you know something, even the quality of the components. Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at it while we can. All right, let's move that over because I can finish putting these together later. Uh, let me see how this will show up. Okay, good. Um, Let me move some of the stuff. Guidebook. First of all, the boards themselves are nice and thick, and they're just really wonderfully done. I just glued you. Get out of there. Now, from what I gathered here, I'm going to do my best to um, show you guys. I mean, beautiful manual, of course, but it seems there's a lot of portals. But the thing that bothers me, and you know, I got a nice little painting guide. There's a hero phase, a hero turn, and then what you do is kind of, have you guys ever played claustrophobia, where you roll the dice and then you put them in the spots? That's what you do with this. And that's completely different from anything that we've ever seen as far as Warhammer Quest. So you roll your 4 dice and then you assign the dice that you want to put for range, for damage, to hit, for weapon actions. So you would assign them. So it reminds me of claustrophobia a lot. So if you roll poorly, I mean, you're in trouble. Um, the actions, making actions, basic unique actions. There's an explore action. Destiny dice, somehow they play into, so where these cards will come into play and stuff. Yeah, see, exactly, Paul. It's very simplistic, but it's also the system just isn't cool for what we're looking for in this type of game or this type of money that you pour out. Weapon actions. Each hero has a number of weapon actions on their hero card, which you can use to attack adversaries. After you have spent the hero dice, you make the weapon action by picking a target and making an attack roll. And on here there's a plus, 4+ to save, +5 for agility, 3 for movement for the Knight Questor, which is this dude over here. It almost looks like they're using kind of a Warhammer Age of Sigmar kind of kind of um kind of rules set. And people were really upset because of the simplicity of it. With a game like this, you want it kind of complex, but I kind of started taking a gander through this book, and there's nothing in here. It's kind of like almost, have you played Above and Below, where you'll be instructed to go to a certain page and then you'll read the text from there. So I don't see where you're going to get the replayability as much as you would like to, or that the game changes every single time. I don't see where the combinations are going to come. The old playbook, which I have, oh goodness, where is it? Okay, hold on. You guys are going to make me dig this out. Ugh. No, I really can't get it out, unfortunately. I'm actually gonna break both of them out and compare the both of them. I think tomorrow that's what a video will be: Silver Tower versus Warhammer Quest, and what are the big differences. And that, I think that'd be a cool video. What do you guys think? I think I'll throw that together tomorrow. Where are we at right now? 6:09. Yeah, I'm sure GW is trying to push AOS on everybody playing this. Yeah, that's exactly what it seems. It seems like a propaganda game, which they are world famous for propaganda. But how do I blame them? You know, the biggest game company in the world. I mean, they've got to make their money. All right, so we've been at this for about an hour and change. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go off air and try to put this all together. Oh, let's see. I like huge decks of cards for variety instead of text passages. Hard to expand as well. Yeah, exactly. When you say there's only like 32 reward cards, I get depressed. I want 200 reward cards, so I never get the same thing twice. Love to see the comparison. Yeah, I think that'd be a real cool video, and I think I'm going to shoot that and get that up as soon as I can. The main thing is to get all this together. The models are better than the old models. Let's face it. But there you go. So why don't we just end it here right now, and I'll finish getting these together because nobody wants a 2-hour put the game together video. I was hoping to do this in about an hour and change, but it does not look like this is something that is going to go that quickly. Wednesday I will be doing a painting video, and I'll have all this stuff together, so we'll start painting this. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll be at MegaCon. Expect full coverage of MegaCon. And we're going to be trying to get some autographs from Stan Lee for my wall here. And Rob, how are you, my friend? And tomorrow, expect a comparison video. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to break both games down and let you see what the old one was like and what the new one is like. As a matter of fact, I might just shoot that right now, put this off, and then put that one up a little later, about an hour or so. What do you think of that? Yeah, why not? So expect that. Let me see if I can get that shot and done. And also I got to do a vlog, so expect that a little later. And as always, guys, hey, thanks for dropping in. Take a look at the comparison video. I'll try to get it up in about an hour. Turned out to be a pretty good idea. And thanks for everybody for watching. See you Wednesday when we do the painting of this, which ought to be exciting. Until next time, it's your old buddy Rob. Talk to you later.